There's this incredible Vietnamese phrase, Nước Bùn Vẫn Trong. It translates to something like, the muddy water is still clear. It's from a work by Nhiên, and it holds this really profound promise, that underneath all the noise and chaos of our lives, our inner peace is already there, just waiting for us.
Okay, so here's the core idea, and it's a beautiful one. Just imagine that your true nature, who you really are at your core, is like water. It's naturally clear, it's peaceful. Now, all the other stuff, life's challenges, our anxieties, our fears, that's the mud. And yeah, that mud gets stirred up all the time, making everything feel messy and turbulent. But here's the thing, it never actually changes what the water is.
Which, of course, brings up the big question, right? It's the one we've all asked ourselves. If our true nature is clarity, why do we spend so much time feeling so overwhelmed, so confused, so completely stuck? If we're the water, why does everything so often feel so murky? Well, to get a handle on that, we've got to talk about a concept called the second arrow. And this idea, it's a total game changer. It basically suggests that the problem isn't the mud itself. The problem is that we're the ones standing there, constantly stirring it up. This all comes from a classic Buddhist parable. The first arrow is just life. It's the unavoidable pain, loss, sickness, disappointment. It's going to hit you and it's going to hurt. That's a given. But then, what do we so often do? We pick up a second arrow and we shoot it right into the same spot. That second arrow is our reaction. It's the blame, the fear, the stories we tell ourselves about how unfair it all is. You see the difference. The first arrow is pain. The second one, the one we shoot ourselves, that's suffering.
So that's the absolute key takeaway here. That second arrow, our reaction, our spiraling thoughts, our self-pity, that is the frantic stirring that turns the clear water of our life into a muddy mess. We take one initial painful event and we multiply it, we amplify it 100 times over with our own internal struggle. Okay, so if we're the ones doing all the stirring, how in the world do we stop? Well, the answer is the core teaching here, and it's beautifully simple. The path to getting clear again isn't about trying to frantically scoop all the mud out. It's about learning how to be still and just letting the mud settle all by itself. And the path to that stillness is laid out in 3 straightforward but incredibly profound steps. See clearly, be honest, and be kind. So let's break down what each of those actually means. All right, step 1, see clearly. This is the foundation for everything else. It's all about looking at what's going on inside without judging it. There's this fantastic analogy with the composer John Cage and his famous silent piece, 4 minutes and 33 seconds. For 4.5 minutes, no one plays a single note. The music is just whatever happens in the concert hall. Someone coughs, a program rustles, you hear the air conditioning. The whole point is to just listen, to notice everything without labeling it good music or bad noise. And that's exactly what this first step is, just noticing our own thoughts and feelings without immediately reacting. So once we can actually see what's going on, we can move to step 2, be honest. And this means getting real with ourselves about what we're clinging to. And here's the wild part. It's not always happiness we cling to. A lot of the time, we cling to our own suffering because it's familiar. It's our story. I love this image of a boat. You can be rowing with all your might, putting in all this effort. But if you're still tied to the dock, you're going absolutely nowhere. Honesty is just finally looking down and admitting, oh, right, there's the rope. And finally, step 3, be kind. This is the one that makes the whole thing work. Because let's be real, if you see your patterns clearly and are honest about your attachments, but you do it without kindness, you're just going to beat yourself up, right? You're just stirring up more mud. Kindness is that gentle, compassionate energy that gives the mud permission to settle. It's understanding that, hey, if you went back in time with the same information you had then, you'd probably make the same choices. Kindness is forgiving that person, and that is what allows the water to finally clear. And when you practice these 3 things, when you finally learn to just stop stirring the water, you arrive at this absolutely stunning realization. And it's not about what you fixed or changed, it's about what you're able to see for the very first time. See, I think we all have this idea that the goal is to get a perfectly mud-free life, to fix everything that's broken, get rid of all our problems. But that's not only impossible, it's just the wrong way to look at it. The real transformation here isn't about removing anything. The real transformation is a massive shift in your identity. It's the profound, earth-shaking realization that you are not the mud, you're not your anger, you're not your anxiety, you're not your past mistakes. You are the vast, clear water where all that stuff just appears and then dissolves. That peaceful nature you were looking for, it was there all along. It was just obscured. A 17th century poet named Mizuta Masahide captured this perfectly after his home burned to the ground. He wrote, "Barns burnt down, now I can see the moon." Wow. Just think about that. Sometimes it's only when we lose the very thing we were so busy protecting, our ego, our stories, our attachments, that we can finally see the vast, beautiful truth that was right there the whole time.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What story, what attachment, what barn are you so busy protecting in your own life that it might just be blocking your view of the moon?